Okay, now we're ready to print the board. So how are we going to do that? So the basic idea is the following. We already have a program that prints the chessboard, but we want to print the chessboard with the chess pieces in it. So where's the information about the chess pieces come from? So let's go down over here to page 45. Remember, we have an array Q, and the array Q tells us where the queens are. So let's say there might be this is Q sub 0, Q sub 1, Q sub 2, Q sub 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's say there's a queen in position 0, and in 2, and in 4, and so on and so forth, right? We're given this array Q, and this is the print program, right? So by the time you get to the print program, this array Q will already have a solution. So what we're going to do is the following. This is the array board. So what does the array board have in it? Let's just check this out again. So board is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is I, and this is J. Now the basic idea is the following. Originally, when we're going to come into the print routine, we're going to fill this array up, right? We're going to put a 1 over here, and a 2 over here, and a 1 over here, and a 2. What does the 1 and the 2 represent? So 1 was the address of the whiteboard, right? So 1 represented the address of whiteboard, and just if we take it by itself, it's the beginning of the array whiteboard, and 2 was the address of the blackboard, right? So, and we use this, as we saw earlier, to actually print the board white and black, except we're printing on a black, remember we're printing on a black screen. And so, and then this goes on, this goes 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And the next one, it was 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and so on. So this will print the board for us. Now, the way this program is going to work, we're going to make 2 more, we'll see that in a moment, we're going to take 2 more boxes. We're going to take one box called WQ, and that's going to be a white box, a box that's all white, in other words, blank characters, but where the picture of the queen is going to be, we're going to fill it in with blacks, right? And we'll see that in a moment. And then and this is going to be a box, and we're going to have another one called BQ. It's also going to be a box. It's going to be a 5x7 array, but it's going to be filled with, it's going to be the box that we're going to be black. So it's going to be all black, except in certain places to make the picture, we're going to leave white. And so this will be a 2-dimensional array of 5x7 and 2-dimensional array 5x7, in addition to the ones we have already, which is a white box and a black box, right? So we have these already, and we're going to simply make 2 more of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the array Q, and we're going to change the addresses in the array board to reflect where the queens are. So for example, over here it says in row 0, column 0, row 0, column 0, right over here, we're going to have a queen, right over here. So the question is, this guy, this position right over here, what kind of queen is going to be in there? Well, since it's a white box, right, a white has to be over there. What we're going to do is we're going to put the address of a white queen. So let's say the address of white queen is 3 and a black queen is 4. That's where these arrays start. So we're going to come over here and we're going to say, we're going to put a 3 over there. Okay, this makes sense, I hope, right? So and what about, where's the next queen? The next queen is 1, 2, row 1. This is column 1, row 2. Column 1, row 2. That's going to be right over here. So here we're going to have a queen. Well, what kind of queen are we going to put in here? So 2 plus 1 is odd. So that's right, I plus j. 2 plus 1 is odd. Odd means we're going to put a black queen in here. The address of black queen is going to be 4. So we're going to put the address of that in here. And so therefore, we're going to change 8 places in the array board. Remember, the array board is an array of addresses. And the 8 places we're going to change, we're going to change them so that we're going to be pointing to the appropriate kind of picture, the appropriate kind of queen. So if I plus j, how do I know it's I plus j? What's I in this case, and what's the j in this case? So the I is the row and the j is the column. So what's the row is what? The row is going to be q, right? The q sub whatever, and the j is going to be the, let's call this thing I, right? So this is going to be, I'm sorry, this is going to be j. J is the column. So this is going to be, this is q sub j, and that's going to be j. So if this is confusing, let me say it slightly different. Let's get rid of this over here, because this is going to conform to the code that I have upstairs. See, here's the idea. Let's have a 0 over here and so on. So call this I, right? And I represents the column that I'm in, and Q sub I, just like we did when we looked at the 8 Queens program, Q sub I tells me the row. So what I want to do is I want to go I starts at 0, and Q sub I is 0. So at 0, 0, I'm going to be placing a queen. And so I'm really going to look at, how do I tell if it's even or odd? So I say I plus Q sub I. And I take that mod 2, right? Because what does I represent? That's the column, and this is the row. So if the row plus the column is even, I'm going to put the address of a white, because these are the solutions over here, I'm going to put the address of a white queen, otherwise the address of a black queen, right? So if we go to the code, how do we do that? Remember, we have the array Q, and so I starts at 0. This is going through the columns, right? I is the columns. So what we're going to do is if Q sub I plus I mod 2 is equal to 0, right? So board sub, what's the row again? It's Q, a little bit bigger, Q sub I and I, right? This is row Q sub I and column I. So that's going to be, since it's going to be even, that's going to be address of a what? Of a white queen. Otherwise, board sub Q sub I is going to be the address of a black queen. That's basically the idea. So how's that going to work? Let's see what the black queen and white queen will look like. We have to make those arrays. We don't have them yet, right? So we're going to have to declare them where we declare all the other ones. But what's a white queen going to be? Well, it's going to be basically white. But let's say we want to, what does the queen look like? So let's make a crown. So maybe the crown will look something like this. Right? So it sort of looks like a crown, you can imagine. Let's use your imagination. But that's how I did the one on the picture earlier. So this is WQ. WQ is a box, means it's a 5 by 7 array of characters. And what we do is when we initialize it, we're going to initialize it all to white, to blanks. And so what we're going to do is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we're going to write a bunch of assignment statements. And so what we're going to say is WQ sub 1 is going to be char 219. What that's going to do is going to go to this guy over here and put a black in here, and then we're going to go another assignment statement. WQ sub 21 is going to get a char 219, and WQ sub 31 is going to get a 219, and WQ sub 13 and 23 and 33 and so on. So what that will do is, if we start with the whole array of blanks, and we go to those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those 11 boxes, I think, and we fill them with blank. We print out from there. We'll get a crown. What about this one here? So this is going to be all. We'll fill this initially. We'll initialize this all to black. Right. The whole thing will be all black. Right. In other words, this whole thing will fill up with 219 at the beginning. And then in order to make the crown, we're going to go to, so this will be 219 all the way through. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go to this one, right? And we're going to make this one to be white. And we're going to go to this one over here, this guy down here, and we're going to make that white. And we're going to go to this one down here. It starts all black, right? That's going to be white. This is still going to be black. This is still going to be, and this will be white. And this will be white. And this will be white. And we'll come in here, put white, white, white. Remember, it's all black to start with. We're going to put black. We're going to put whites over here too, right? White, 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 and not this one. And then the rest will have the black characters. And so when we print it, it's going to be a black queen. Now, of course, if we print this on a black background and we print character 219 comes out white. So depending on the background, that's what it's going to look like. But this sort of, again, this is what I did earlier. That's how I made this picture. That sort of looks like a crown. That's the idea, right? So where do we do this initializations? We would take the original program right over here, the original program, and right in here, right, we're going to make two other uh, declarations. Not only white box, black box and white box, we're also going to say we have a white queen and a black queen. That's also going to be declared in here, and also going to be boxes. They're going to be arrays of char of 5 by 7. And then in here also, we're going to add two more. We're going to add two more initializations. We're going to go, it's the same thing. These are going to be boxes. So not only is white box sub ij going to be given an initial value of a blank, but also white queen sub ij will be given an initial value of blank. And not only will BB, black box, be initialized to char 19, but also black queen sub ij will also be given an initial value of char 19, 219, right? And this will be given an initial value of blank, right? And so that's basically what happens. And then we go down to the printing. So just finish up the whole thing. So here's where we did the actual printing. This piece right here. So board sub ij is not necessarily going to be printing to a white box or a black box, because in 8 positions we change the value, right? In 8 positions we had a pointer to a black queen or a white queen, and so when it starts to print across those boxes, it's going to actually print the picture, and that is how that works. So that's the assignment. The idea, of course, is you want to now modify the print program. Let's go down and read that together. Right? So you can augment the code by adding 2 additional boxes, right? A black box and a black queen and a white queen. And as we said, after that, you're gonna after the code that fills the array board with the addresses of black box and white box, we're going to change it in 8 places based on the array Q. And then we're going to modify Q in those 8 places by using this code here, right? We're going to put that in there someplace, and then it will work. That's the way we do it. Any questions? I will try to answer those questions, send me emails, and please bring it up to the lab instructors and they will be able to help you with this as well.